I'm 100% confident that most of the traders that have been trading don't know exactly what this strategy is. I'm sure that a few people know how to use this strategy exactly, right? So most of the people, yeah, I'm sure that almost everyone has read about price action or done price action, but this is one of the strategies that most people neglect, right? So, but it's very powerful. Is I'm sure that if there's any powerful strategy that I would choose alone when I'm trading price action, pure price action, I would only pick these patterns, right? So the patterns that I'm talking about are the flags and what flags, wedges. Yeah, it's just the same concepts, right? So whether it's a flag or it's a wedge, it's just one and the same thing, right? So what is a flag, first of all, right? So for a flag, let's say we're in an uptrend, right? So we're up, going up, right? Then we've got a little bit of what? A pullback in a consolidation, right? So these types of pullbacks are the best types of pullbacks. A pullback that's in a consolidating manner, I just love it, right? So right over here, right? So after that pullback, right, you just mark your trend lines, right over here, right? So you just mark your trend lines, right? And for this is a what? This is a bearish flag, and for bearish flags, most of the times they break going what? They break going up, right? So let me just show you the example that I'm talking about, right? Most of the times after this consolidating manner, the market is creating something just so that the market moves what? Moves up, just like this, right? So if you are able to catch these large moves, right, you'll be very profitable in the market. And for a wedge, right, it's just a little bit opposite to this, but it's just the same concept, right? So we are going up, right, and then we're going up in this manner, right? So like in a trending manner, right? Then we start having what? Going up is slowly what? Reducing its momentum, creating a getting narrow and narrower, right? So for this one over here, most of the times there are two probabilities. Either it's going to what? So for this one, you just have to draw your trend lines, one on top, one on bottom, right? And when it's narrowing down, it's so like creating what? A triangle, right? So right over here, you've got so like a triangle. It's I'm just summing up almost everything in one video so that you don't have to worry about just knowing the names and all that stuff. You just have to know the pattern, right? That's what's important. You don't have to brag about knowing, yeah, I know a hammer, I know a doji, I know a whatever. I don't care, right? But you have just have the picture in mind of what you want to trade, right? So right over here, after this small over here, this small one, after this small consolidation over here, the market has no option, right? It's going to have to break this triangle in some point at some point in time, right? So most of the times for wages, they go the what? The opposite direction, right? But I've with deriv, most of the times I've seen it going even further after a consolidation, right? So after this consolidation manner, just know that the market is creating a bigger move, right? So those are the patterns that I like to look for most of the times, right? So let's check this for example, right? So we look for like an impulsive move, right? So but that's not that impulsive, right? So we've got this impulsive move over here. Sorry, we've got this impulsive move over here, right? Then this is a pullback, right? We consider this a pullback in a consolidating manner, right? So you have to draw your proper trend lines here, right? So I'm just using this just for you to just get the picture, but I don't want to draw trend lines today. I'm just a little bit lazy, right? So that's what you have to look for, right? Over here, right? And when there's a breakout of that, let me just draw the trend lines. Then I just draw the trend lines. Oh, okay. I guess that makes you happy, right? I'm doing the work for you. You should know how to draw your proper trend lines, by the way, right? So over here, make sure that your trend lines touches most of the what of the points, right? So it just moves right over here, right? So it's touching, oh, it's almost touching, right? So it's touching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, right? And over here, right over here, we're getting a little bit of breakouts, but we're getting a what? A proper retest, breakout, a little bit of breakout. You just consider a little breakout, but as soon as this breakout, as you can see, there are doji formations showing you that the market is not yet able to go down, right? Because the wicks are longer to the downside. If you want me to explain more about candlesticks and how you can just interpret them just by looking at them, just comment in the comment section down below and I will do that for you. I make that video for you, right? So over here, right, and right over here, that's when you get a breakout and a little bit of retest that's not breaking past back to the what above, right? So over here, I went after this red candlestick over here, right, and you just hold that trade, right? I'm sure that you know how to go about it after this, right? So right over here, but in a positive move, then this is sort of like a slowdown in momentum, right? So you just have to mark these zones, know that at some point in time, right, the market is going to what? Is going to break those points, right? So over here, we are touching one, this almost touched, it did, 2, 3, yeah, just got 3 points, right? And most of the times I don't consider these small breakouts over here, right? I just have to mark, right? So this, what I was calling a what? This is a wedge formation over here. This is a wedge formation over here. As you can see, it forms so like what? A triangle. And this was a flag, by the way, if you didn't notice. If you didn't notice this, then I don't know how. I don't know. This is a flag because we got what? This down move, a flag, and then it continue going down. Then this is a wedge, right? We've got this up move, right? Then it's slowly slowing down in momentum. It's not able to go that far, right? Then it continues what? Going down. That's what you just have to look for, right? Those are the patterns that I like to look for. This just is just slow, right? If you just see the market isn't moving in a trending manner, you just have to mark that zone, right? You just have to mark it and wait for a proper breakout and just stuff like that. I'm not teaching support and resistance in today's video, but I'll just show you how you could have entered over here, right? So right over here, so this is so like a what? A wedge, right? Over here, the market isn't able to go up in a what? In a very powerful manner, right? So over here, how do you enter, right? So let's see if the market put back to our 200 over here. Okay, so it didn't put back here, right? So it put back over here. If you zoom it down a little bit to the 5-minute time frame, this could have been your entry point over here. This little candlestick over here, when it put back to that little candlestick over there, right? That could have been your entry point, but you could have just entered after the breakout, right? If you are an aggressive trader, but as for me, right over here, I wouldn't have had an entry. This one would have missed me because I would, most of the times, if the market doesn't pull back to the trend line, it pulls back to the what? To the previous support that was formed, right? So a broken support becomes a resistance. So I would have been expecting it to pull back over here. So this would have missed me most of the time. But guess what? The market pulled back again later to that same level again, right? Created an ugly M, right? And it continued what? Going down further, right? We also have our flag formation over here, right? The market is consolidating over here. So whenever you see a consolidation in whenever you're trading boom and crash, know that it's a probability that the market will actually even give you a bigger move if you wait patiently and see what the market is really planning to do. Because most of the times these are just trap moves, right? So you have to see through the drift trap, right? So you just have to be careful and see what exactly Jerif is planning, right? So right over here, we've got a consolidating manner. We're not going up, we're not going down, right? We're going up, but in a slow manner, right? Wait for the breakout and we enter, right? So these breakouts trades usually work for aggressive trader who just enter when they see just that opportunity alone, right? So right over here, this trade most probably wouldn't work out, right? Especially my stop loss would have been hit most of the time because I would be expecting it to go way further, right? So the concept over here is we've got what? This downtrend, right? It's an impulsive down move, right? Then we've got this consolidating manner, right? Then we've got a breakout, a retest, right? I would expect it to reach maybe a little bit somewhere over here, right? At least over here. So my stop loss would have been hit, but most of the times I move my stop loss to break even if the market is moved. So yeah, I wouldn't say I would have lost that much, but of course I would have lost that trade because the market didn't reach where I was expecting it to reach. So right over here, my stop loss would have been hit, right? So this over here, I'm sure that if you drew this to on the 1 hour time frame, right, this also so like consolidating main over here, right? And as you can see, it gets broken somewhere over there. This is not proper. I didn't draw a proper trend line. We have to shift to the H1 time frame or H4 in order to see in order to draw that trend line properly. But as you can see, the market broke past it. Then we've got this, right? So the market gives these types of patterns each and every time, right? But people just ignore them like they are nothing, like they don't exist. Of course, you have to aid these patterns with other strategies, with other indicators, other your stuff, so that it becomes easier for you to trade them, right? So if you want those or other strategies that you can combine this with, you can check out my channel. I've got loads of those.